Hey, Ravings and Cravings here, otherwise known as Ruth Hartunian Allenbaugh, with a new show brought to you by the Wyndham Economic and Community Development folks and the great people here at WILI. Today, I'm here with Vanessa Senna. She is the owner of My Local Chefs, and you guys are going to get a real treat by listening to what she has to say today. So welcome, Vanessa.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming on this early morning.
I'm here. I made it. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So tell us, let's do define what My Local Chefs is at the beginning, and then we can unpack a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's so much. So My Local Chefs essentially is a way, on the chef side, is a way for them to add a revenue stream. We work with tons of local chefs and small food businesses. We have helped them expand their reach throughout the state. We have our own online platform, but we also connect them with large programs, large corporations.
Oh.
So my company also partners with Hartford Healthcare, Hartford Board of Education,
Wow.
Yukon Health. We just signed with the Connecticut Department of Social Services, Department of Agriculture. We're really kickstarting this whole food as medicine initiative. And they really like the fact that we're able to use local talent to create what we call culturally relevant cuisines, and that we'll be able to deliver to homes, hospitals throughout the whole state.
Okay, so that caught my ear. Culturally relevant. Can you explain exactly what that means?
Yeah, I will give you an example of
Do it.
a program we're starting with Pounds Transformation. They're a weight loss center, and they have they have patients from every socioeconomical background you can think of, and what we find, what the researchers and the dietitians and doctors have found, is that people will stay compliant when they're eating foods they're used to eating, grew up eating.
All right.
Well, how do you do that? So we partner with different chefs from different backgrounds who are able to switch their menus around, tweak their menus is what we say, to work with the dietitian's guidelines to create a healthier version. So for Pounds Transformation, we're working with Italian chefs, Caribbean chefs, vegan chefs, Spanish chefs, to create about 5 items each. So now the patients can go online. They get all of our clients. So Pounds Transformation will actually get their own custom menu, custom ordering system.
Goodness. That's amazing.
Where they can send their patients, and their patients can go online and choose any of the meals from any of the chefs from all these different cuisines.
Kidding.
And know they're being compliant.
Oh my gosh. So and if I wanted to, I could eat around the world if I wanted
This
to,
is
right?
exactly what we're trying to accomplish.
So that means that you get to open up a whole world of flavors and textures, all kinds of fun stuff.
And we deliver. So the fact that, say, you're here in Willimantic, and maybe you don't want to go down to Fairfield or New London or up to Litchfield, you're able to order from multiple chefs, and we can deliver all of their meals at the same time because it's meal prep. So that's how we do it.
So walk me through the process of what it takes to do that.
You can think of us kind of like an Amazon for food. So we have hubs. And basically, on the technical side, we take in the orders. Every chef, they get their orders on a Thursday night or a Sunday night, or Saturday night. We have either the chefs can bring it. All they have to do is fulfill the orders. They fulfill the orders. They can bring it back to the hub, where we have packers that then take in the orders, pack them per customer, get them ready for delivery the next morning, and then the delivery drivers come to the hub in the morning, pick up and go. So it's kind of like an Amazon, but for food.
But yeah, we should call it Foodazon.
Foodazon!
Yes!
I love
Foodazon.
I love it. That has so many, because there's double entendres to that too.
I know.
You got something. How much do I owe you?
I don't know. We'll talk about that later, but your time here and being here is the best thing already.
Yeah.
I just thought about that while you're talking.
I love it.
Well, and I'm thinking while you're talking too that in a world that is very technical, this is a very high touch world that you live in, isn't it?
Definitely.
You need a lot of humans to do all this stuff, right?
Yeah. As we're hiring our next level executive team, because it really started off with me and just a couple of people, and building and what we thought we'd want this how we wanted the business to run and how we thought we would grow, and we've pivoted already a million times. So now we're pretty laser focused on the food as medicine and including all of the local chefs. And we actually have some pretty big chefs that are on board now.
Yeah, you want to tell us who they are?
Sure. So Xavier Santiago
Yeah.
has agreed. Carlos Perez has agreed. I have a meeting with Emily Mangrone, so cross
Emily.
fingers.
Good
And
for
Tyler
you.
Anderson
Wow, okay.
just agreed. So they'll be helping with different food demos, recipes, the meals themselves. I don't know if you've ever follow Place to Be, but they have a new salad line.
Oh.
We'll be introducing that. We'll be able to deliver their salads and. But the other thing that I love too are a lot of these patients, they're in a population where they don't have a lot of healthy food options. We always say, allowing access to health, but it's also allowing access to chefs and restaurants that these people would never get to go to.
Yeah, that's a big obstacle, isn't it?
As far as for the patients?
Yeah.
We're talking a lot of, Black and brown populations. They're very used to what's in, their culture and the types of food that they eat, and just a lot of cultures sometimes, like I know, I'm Hispanic, we want to be able to have our own, right? So we want to be able to provide for our families.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we're able to bring in chefs that are Puerto Rican, that are Mexican, that are Cuban, and they're like, we get it. Like, we're all in this together. I don't know if you remember, there was a clothing brand called FUBU. For us, by us. I like to think that we're the food equivalent to that. So it's Connecticut chefs for Connecticut people. I love it.
Wow, so that's very amazing, I think. Anyway, I'm wondering, what is your backstory like? What got you to where you are today in My Local Chefs?
So I had a meal prep. I was a partner in a meal prep company. Learned pretty much right off the bat it was going to be a tough road ahead. It's really tough to scale when you have one chef. You have one menu, one chef, and we were our audience, our target marketing, our customers were. It was a premium service, and I had always wanted to be able to help less fortunate inner city communities. I grew up that way, and I figured there's got to be a way. With My Local Chefs, it not only, we still have that consumer side, so anybody can order online and they can order from multiple chefs, but we understand that there's a huge population that cannot afford this service.
Yeah.
So we decided to get a grant writing team on board. And so what we do is we actually go to certain nonprofits, certain organizations, and we help them get funded so their consumers, their constituents, can actually still afford this program.
So you guys, you're seeking to enable people to receive services that they would not normally have received.
Absolutely. We just signed up with Gardener's House, which is it's a nonprofit that helps cancer survivors, but cancer survivors of color that need basic needs. A lot of times, I think most people know when you're going through cancer treatment, it's expensive, and a lot of other things kind of fall at the wayside. So how do we get nutritious food? Because these are some of the most vulnerable people we work with.
Absolutely.
How do we get them nutritious food? And how do we get them not just nutritious food, but they're able to ask for the types of food they want? So we have a nutritionist on board, and we have a behavioral health specialist on board, and we work with the group, and we ask them what they want to eat, what and a lot of times they don't want to eat anything.
Yeah, because they're too sick to eat, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But okay, we're going to get you some meals where they're going to help you. We want, so they'll tell us we want Italian this week, we want Caribbean next week, or whatever. The nutritionist comes and says, okay, Vanessa, these are the types of foods they want to eat. Let's go seek out the chefs. We talk to the chefs. We look at their menu. Nutritionist tells them, okay, we need to omit this. We need to substitute that. This is going to get them their max nutrition. Chef makes it. We deliver it. They're happy.
Wow, talk about some major collaboration here.
Oh my gosh, there needs to be so much collaboration.
You must go to so many meetings with people trying to figure stuff out, right?
Definitely, because I'm just that collaborator, I
Yeah.
guess you could say. Logistics is my guess. Logistics and sales is my background. But definitely, we just partnered with Haven's Harvest in New Haven, and they want to be our large food distributor. We're working with Hartford Healthcare and building a lot of food pantries. They have 11 locations throughout the state. We also worked on the food pharmacy at Hartford Hospital.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, with that comes, tons of food that needs to be delivered, more so than my company does now, because we deliver to homes. We're able to use independent contractors for drivers. But when we're talking, large orders, Haven's Harvest has agreed to be that organization to work with.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, it's more about helping and what we can do. The more people you help, the more people want to work with you. So it's not, makes sense.
And I have a question that I can almost guess what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask it out loud. So what gets you up in the morning then? What is it that, every day you get out of bed and you say, okay, what is it that inspires you?
To be honest with you, I love growing this business. So there's two parts to it. It's really difficult what we do, but we get it done, and that's super exciting. When they say your dopamine levels when you have little tasks and you complete them. So it's always those little things. Every little thing we do makes me super excited. But then it's also seeing the results. It's waking up and saying, okay, we this cancer group, how did you guys like your food? How do you guys feel? How is it making you feel? And there's so many aspects on the behavioral health and the mental health aspect of it, because it's the nutrition helps them physically. Well, they have more energy, but it's also you care about us. You took the time to listen to us and what we want, and you created something that I asked for, and I feel great about that. So it's those results that I also wake up in the morning for.
Oh, well, the human connection is a very powerful thing. And food is an awesome connector because everybody has to eat. Right? I mean, you'll never go out of business.
That's good. Good. And I think when we're talking about the food as medicine, last summer, President Biden started, he created he had a food as medicine conference at the White House. And he's really pushing for these states to think about this. And I think everybody knows that food should have been treated as medicine. It's a holistic way for us to heal ourselves. There are so many illnesses that can, get treated with your diet can help your health outcome. So why are we not thinking about this? As we go in and as we work with dietitians and the researchers and doctors, we're starting to find out the logistical and the legal standpoint as to why doctors don't talk about food. And so we're really just pushing of how do we get insurance companies, how do we get hospitals to bill, to understand that this is a treatment that works for one and is more cost effective. Why are we not doing this? So there's a lot of red tape that we have to go through for that too. But
do you have people lobbying for you?
I want to.
Is that kind of a next level thing? Because I mean, as I'm self-employed and my field is music therapy in this state of Connecticut, I'm not recognized as a professional who can even receive insurance reimbursement for services. Yeah. And there are people in my profession who are lobbying like crazy, to make
of course
people pay attention to the fact that this is a real thing. It has good impact. These are the, that kind of thing.
Well, that's where we're at right now too. So I totally understand what you're talking about. So what we're working on right now is that research. And that's the big thing we're working on right now with UConn Health. If I told you there's about 10 doctors, researchers, social workers, all from UConn Health with the Department of Social Services and us, saying, all right, let's write this program. Let's do the research. So it's going to be, field research, taking in different teams, finding what our best course of action is, what the best timing is, how much money it's going to save. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think anyone will have a problem paying when they realize they're actually saving. If that makes sense.
It's true, because in a way it ends up being a proactive type of intervention. So even before things go poorly for you, say physically, it
Absolutely.
interrupts your cycle of, bad habits or whatever.
Right. Well, we're just introducing new habits. A lot of
New
the
habits.
populations that we deal with are not even used to some of the mythology that we're talking about, But then the other aspect of it is that we have chefs and small food businesses that are participating in this, and they're able to now build another, not just build another revenue stream, but chefs love people. We cook or bake. I'm a baker. You bake.
I bake.
For love, right?
Oh, yeah.
You love people.
Oh, yeah. I got 3 pumpkin breads ready to go at my front door right now.
Yeah. And so it's not tough for me to find chefs that want to help. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm able to help this group of cancer survivors. I'm able to help these children with leukemia. Or I'm able to help this group with diabetes. It's pretty amazing. And it's their menus as well. A lot of companies, I'm not going to get into the whole competition thing, but they're cooking what they want. And they're not really cooking delicious food. So it's tough for patients to stay compliant, to want to eat the food.
Well, and I'm thinking of, you were talking about your food being culturally relevant. And I'm thinking of many cultures who are very high on the carb or the fried food end. Like, how do you even entice somebody who's, grown up with that kind of diet to do different?
Well, we incorporate small changes, small, healthier changes.
Baby steps, that's what you say.
Exactly. So we totally get that. We worked with the Bushnell Senior Center, Retirement Center in downtown South Hartford. And they're a population that a lot of them have type 2 diabetes. They're older generation. And they were very reluctant to try this new style of food. And we made little things. It was chickpea macaroni and cheese. It was collards with the turkey neck instead of the ham hock. It was like small little things. They loved it. So there's also a stigma that is related to healthy food.
Right, sure.
We all know, I'm the same way. Someone says, oh, you want to, come, I'm going to make you a healthy dinner. I'm like, well, what is your version of healthy? We're trying to erase that. When we say now we're going to make you healthy food, we know what you're thinking, but we want you to enjoy it. Try it. Try it anyway. Small little tweaks. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. We're asking for seconds, so that tells you something.
Well, that does tell you. That tells you an awful lot. Well, in your world, Vanessa, you deal with a lot of people. So I'm curious, what are your tips as far as all these people that you have to collaborate with and bring the pieces together? Because kind of like, you're like the center of the wheel, and all these spokes are coming out of all these people that you're coordinating, collaborating with. I mean, there's got to be some challenges along the way wherever there's people. So what are your tips for like how to deal with difficult situations, difficult people?
Sure. So I think first thing is to drop the ego. There are a lot of times I can sit in a meeting where no one agrees with me, or not, well, that's not true. Not no one, but most people won't agree with me, or they don't see the vision, things like that. And so I have to understand that. When I'm speaking with my advisors, they will tell me, no, that's not going to work, or I don't think you understand what's going to need to be involved for this to happen. And I get back down to earth, and it really gets me down to square one again. Okay, if I want to be at a certain place at a certain time, how is that going to work? And then breaking it down even more so. But if I were, which sometimes that person comes out of, it's inside going, you don't know what you're talking about. Who do you think you are?
You should leave the room.
Yeah, you don't know. You've never been there, So I call her Little Vanessa. Little Vanessa has to calm down. I know you care about me, but calm down. And then regroup and start thinking about, okay, how do we work this out? And then the other thing, too, is to realize what types of people that you're working with. If I'm talking with my accountant, he's going to have a way different perception than my marketing director.
Sure. Yeah.
So you just have to take all of that in, take it with a grain of salt. I work with doctors and clinicians and data analysts. They're not visionaries. And so if I'm working with them on a project, and if I'm asking them to create something with me, it's not easy. because they're not those people. But if I have the vision and I can think of something and tell them, this is where I see you in the role that you play, they're very much, overly eager, I should say, to want to participate. The fact that we have some doctors that are giving us, their past research, their findings, how much they want to work. I'm available this time, because this is such an important, initiative that we're starting.
It is,
and they want to be part of it. So they're overly eager. It's amazing. But to ask them to create, well, they've done research, so we know that they're already doing it, but they haven't taken it to the next step. So that's where I need to come in and say, okay, how do we get this to the patient? How do we get insurance companies to understand that this is a need? So it's all of that.
So it's like you're helping to help connect the dots,
Yeah.
to make things successful for whoever you're serving.
Right.
Well, you sound like you're a very multifaceted, visionary type of person, because you really have to be able to. A little bit of Christmas is still left over in my clock here, so we can ignore that. You are a very multifaceted, visionary type of person, and in that, you learn to speak people's languages, as far as like if you're dealing with a doctor, or you're dealing with your HR person, or you're dealing with your money person, you're dealing with whatever. So it's a lot of different things. I think it's a testament to who you are and your personality. Tell people how to find you on social media, because I have read a lot of your posts, and she just has lots of fun stuff going on as far as food and My Local Chef. So tell us where we find you.
Yep, you can find us online. We have a website. You can go on there if you're a chef and you're really interested in getting involved with some of these programs. Contact us at www.mylocalchefs.com. Chefs is plural. But we also have a way for providers to sign up as well. So if you're a director of a nonprofit, if you work in healthcare, even if you work with state social services, Department of Ag, sign up, talk to us. Let's see how we can work together. And then you can find us around town as well. You'll see chefs all over. We have a cooking demo we're doing with Urban League of Greater Hartford after this. And we're working with Board of Education next week. So there's a lot of cool things. You'll see us out on the street as well.
So the website, is that the best place to find that kind of information then?
Yep, you can go on there. Or you can go on our social, My Local Chefs, all one word as well.
Is that Facebook, Instagram, both? Or?
All and LinkedIn, yes.
Oh, yep, LinkedIn too. All right. So there's no excuse for not finding you. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Well, my time is almost up, but I'm wondering. I'm going to give you a chance. Have I missed something? Is there something that you really have this burning desire to say before the time is gone?
I really want people to understand where we're going with the food as medicine. And if there is anybody, whether you're on the corporate, nonprofit, or chef side that wants to get involved with this, it's going to be huge. And I would love every single person to be at the forefront. It's all of us for our people. So jump on board. I am more than happy to talk to you.
Well, I think that's a good commercial for sure. Today I was here with Vanessa Senna of My Local Chefs. It's been a pleasure to have you here at my dining room table. Thank you so much for making the trip. I wish you great success, almost to the point where you really just can't keep up with it. Does that sound good?
I think so, yeah. Thank you.
All right. This is Ruth Hartunian Allenbaugh, Ravings and Cravings at Good Company WILI, signing off for the day.